Hi, good afternoon. Yeah. So, how did you even come up with an idea of startup today?
That's actually a very good question. It all happened like how they say disruption in the startup lingo. It was disruption out of a shot just like that. But then we managed to pull it through. So Startup2day.in is actually a platform for we're trying to bring in the investors and the startups together at one place and help them engage and not only them, all the allied ancillary people who are involved in setting up a startup. So you find everything under one roof here. So you get to meet the investors, you get to meet the mentors, you get to meet people who are also part of the ecosystem. And if you have any ideas, you can pitch in your ideas. If you have any concepts, you can share it. And that's what the whole expo is all about. It's our first one, and we're very happy. We actually pulled it through. And we had some very good speakers from the startup ecosystem in Hyderabad coming and talking. Some very famous names, Mr. Satish Andra, Mr. Vivek Lokanadan, and a lot of other names who are part of the T Hub and Hyderabad ecosystem. So that's how it all began. The mandate is not just restricted to an expo or anything. We plan to take it in a different way. Also have a magazine and a portal in place where you can get a lot of information and insights about startups and investors, and then probably not just restrict to the urban areas, and probably take it down to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because there's a lot of potential there which is still hidden, and we want to bring that out. And yes, also take these senior people who are a part of this there and bring it closer together. He's Mr. Vivek Nama, the founder, a young budding entrepreneur in the infrastructure field, and it's all his idea, and he's brought everything together, and he's this is what you're seeing today. It's all because of him. We are just supporting him in this endeavor, and yeah.
So, can we just have a chat with him as well later on? Yeah, meanwhile, face any difficulties and how did these startup companies just come up?
We have not faced any problems till now, so everything is going well. So and we are looking the same pace in the future also.
Mr. Vivek?
He's a very shy man.
So, we were talking about Mr. Vivek.
Okay, yeah. An entrepreneur himself, part of the infrastructure group. It's called the RVM Infrastructure. And it's something that, it was his brainchild, and he came up with this concept of Startup2day.in. And it just started with the idea of, probably having some sort of a platform for information. But then we had to he wanted to look at it in a different perspective. And then getting all these people together, the idea of having the expo came into picture, and that's how all this happened. He's basically a MTech in structural engineering, and comes with a strong background in that. They're already into this field, they're into construction, into different areas. But this is another aspect of what he wants to give out to society. That's his idea.
It's great. And so I see there's so many startup companies in this expo. And how do you manage to get them? Normally, startups, they might not hesitate, but then have second thoughts to be a participant in a expo like this, because normally this happens in a national wide. This is TV5 is a part of this startup today. So how did you get involved with all these startups and TV5?
I think Rameshwar would be the right person to answer that actually, because he's done a lot of coordination. It was very organically done, and it was purely through advertising and Facebook, and we had a small team in place. So like a startup, we also did this. So we tried, and we met a lot of people. They came to us. We opened a website first, and then we had registrations. We had a tie-up with an event company who helped us in the process, and everything just fell into place one by one by one. It was not like at an instant thing. It happened. It was a learning process for all of us. I mean, that's something that people should actually know. This is not something that we're used to doing, but we did it. We got a lot of people, and we're very happy with the results, because so many stalls have come. And also as part of this, because TV5 Money is supporting us in this endeavor by giving us the right mileage and in the media, and they've been promoting us extensively, and we're very happy, because that also gave a lot of reach to the people to know what we're doing and what's happening. Normally, you rely purely on social media or on some pictures or, some pamphlets and posters. But we just, took it a little, there's a lot of investment in, reaching out to people, but then we did it in a slow way, but the results were very good. And as part of that, we also have an awards ceremony happening in 5 categories. Best Kickstart, Best Innovation, Jury Special Appreciation Award, one in a Best Marketing Strategy. So they're given in 5 different categories, and TV5 Money would be doing that aspect. They have a special jury for that. They're actually walking around now. The jury is actually checking all the stalls and checking on the new ideas and all of that. So simultaneously, these speakers who have come in are all stalwarts in the ecosystem field, startup ecosystem field. They have been entrepreneurs themselves. They have had their success stories. They've had their failures. So they have shared all of that through these speaking, through speaking the sessions and through the panel discussions. And it's been a very good, a lot of feedback that we've got and a lot of worthwhile information for anybody who wants to start a startup. As if you take, for example, Mr. Abhay Deshpande, he's the owner of Marjack. So his success story has started with a lot of failures and rejection. That's an important learning aspect for everybody. Yeah, there's no success. It's not just one failure. It's been like 20 or 50 rejections by investors. And he shared his story very beautifully. Mr. Ramesh Loknathan is closely associated with the startup ecosystem, and he's given a hands-on, explanation of how things can happen, not just coming and giving a session, because he's involved everybody, called in the audience, everybody could approach him. That's the whole idea about the Startup Expo, not just sitting and talking and delivering and moving on. So we've just had these 2 segments there called the ecosystem room and the discussion rooms to keep it a little informal. These guys can talk in private and take it forward.
We have planned we have not planned anything, so we just whatever we wanted to we did it. So it's only 20 in a less than 1 month we have planned everything and we done this.
Less than 1 month is really amazing.
No, and we are not feeling embarrassed. There have been some glitches, but then without those, it doesn't happen. But everything happened in a day span, everything, and it's all done by us. And we've not taken too much of professional help actually. It's done single-handedly by our entire startup team. The young gentleman there is a BTech student, and his name is Naveen. And as you can see, he's like running all over the place. Getting things done, talking, money, everything. He's one of the vital persons in the whole thing. And we can probably bring in the whole team, but it'll be
Sure. But then, seriously, trust me, within a...
The team at RVM also were a little supportive to us in certain aspects, and we're extremely happy that they've supported us. If it weren't for them, I think this wouldn't have taken place.
In a period of a month, less than a month, doing so much is difficult, trust me. You've done it really good. Hats off.
Thank you.
Yeah, hats off to your whole team.
We hope the results will be good, because as we take it up further, the mandate further, we are hoping that all of these people will...
Only, and this is the first step. We are planning a lot more to do, and not only in Hyderabad, we are planning in tier 2, tier 3 cities also. Yeah, that's it.
This whole process, we have actually, we've been supporting these people, Neutralize Naturals and Home Infrastructure and Laptalk. So this is also coming into our kitty right now, yeah, as part of the whole event. Yep.
That's great.